because say you have, say you do an act of infamy, the act of infamy itself is going to raise heat in that area. Also, the agent simply being there is going to raise heat. And of course, raising heat means that you're going to have people on you, which is really annoying. The last thing you want is to have a bunch of people bugging you. The higher you heat, the worse type of agents you're going to get, and the better equipped agents you're going to get. So if you're constantly keeping your heat in a specific area pretty much maxed, then you're going to end up getting soldiers after you. And not just, good soldiers or poor soldiers. You're going to get exceptionals. And they're not going to come in teams of 1 and 2. They're going to come in teams of 5 or 6. And they don't like to be nice. If you get a door, they're not going to try to pry it open. They're going to blow it off. So the last thing you want is to keep your heat high. So having agents leave your island. Oops. Why isn't that working? Oh, that's because this isn't built yet. Duh. The last thing you want is to have people leaving your island with heat. So whenever possible, have them have as many ways as you can of reducing heat. So that's why I like to keep the agents stupefied, and that's why I like to use like I said, keeping them stupefied with traps. And the Uber trap is a good idea too, because it's, for some reason, keeping them on the island, even if they never return to their home country, doesn't trigger the same reaction as killing them. Because if you kill agents, sure, they're not going to gather any heat, but the Alliance adjusters are going to notice and going to say, hey, we sent 30 agents to the island, but only 4 returned. Something's, not right. And then they're going to start sending more agents anyways. So that's why it's a good idea to let agents leave. But for some reason, whenever agents don't leave the island due to being stuck in an Uber trap, it doesn't trigger that same reaction. They're not going to send more agents to the island. But even if it did, it'd only help fill the Uber trap faster, which would, in the end, benefit you. So I was going to build a quick little control room down here. Now, one thing I like to build is what I call is the control sanctum. So what I'll do is I'll build a control room that has essentially an inner sanctum in it. That's what this little part in the middle is going to be. And what that does is it allows... No, I don't want that piece here. It allows your evil genius to be in the middle of the sanctum, and that will increase the productivity of the people in the room, because your evil genius's circle of influence will keep them constantly working. Now, about control panels. One control panel has to be manned by two minions if it's going to be of any use. And so if only one minion is working on it, it's actually not doing anything for you. Now, if you have, I think now, if you look at the world map once it's active, each active infamy has a 5-tier, up to a 5-tier threshold of security, and that means however many tiers it has, which is referenced by the amount of sections on. I'll show you once we get there. By the amount of sections on the information threshold. As you have more control panels working, you have more area uncovered, and the more the higher information threshold you have, you can see how much money you can siphon off, like the money level, the security level of each area. The higher the level, the more chance there is of justice presence showing up. Also, the more control panels you have, the easier it is to find acts of infamy. Not confirmed though about the acts of infamy part. But I believe the more control, if you have if you have full access to the world, you should be able to find your active infamy easier. So I always like to build more control panels than there is threshold. I think you'll need about 5 to actually max it out. But I like to go usually about 8 is what I prefer, because that allows for if somebody used to stand up and disable that entire control panel, you don't lose your information. Now the memory banks will hold the information for like 120 seconds or whatever per data bank, but still that's still not a lot of time, and you might not be able to get the control panel manned again in time. So hit that and cancel this. So it's always a good idea to have a couple extra. That way if somebody gets up to switch shifts or something, that it's not going to throw off all your information on the world map. So like I said, 8 to 10 generally keeps your world map fully informationalized at all times. So there we go. So we've almost completed the first set of objectives when you first arrive on the island. First of all, ensure a healthy minion force by building a barracks. You'll need at least 1 bunk bed and 1 locker. That's been done. Before you can send minions around the world to carry out acts of infamy, you will need to construct a control room to help filter information. Make sure you have at least 1 control console and 1 memory bank. Now, we're just getting that done. I did build a memory bank and control consoles in the same room, so once they're built, I'll be able to do that. It seems you're under scrutiny even before you begin. Somewhere on the island are some pesky investigators tipped off to your arrival. Eliminate them. I haven't done that yet, and once again, I'll tell you why once I have access to the world map. So now that I've actually done this part here properly, I'll be able to finish setting up where my Uber trap goes. This I'm probably going to destroy and put something else there. Or, I might even just leave it and just put some stuff here. You know what, I probably will destroy it, because I don't want, no wait, never mind, I'm thinking weird. I want to put a wind machine trap here. Now here's a small tip. Any agent with high enough attention will notice pressure pad sensors, and they will attempt to roll over them, but they can only roll 1 space, like a maximum of up to one space. So if you set one that's 1 space, like with a space in between them, what it will do is it will cause them to roll over one and immediately onto the other, setting it off. Now, how many spaces do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Beauty. Now, watch this little trick here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a second wind machine trap, trap, I want traps, over here, blowing this way, and I'm going to set it up so this one attaches to this one, and this one attaches to this one, but this one attaches to this one as well. So if she rolls over, hits that one, they're going to get blown back, hit this one, and get blown over to here. Now they're not going to hit the door, not going to take any damage, but that's going to essentially tell them exactly where I want them to go. Eventually they're going to give up on going this way, and they're going to walk into and they're going to break into the Uber trap. Okay, so now that that's being built, I can finish building this. No, you know what? I don't want to build a new corridor. Cancel. I want to edit this one. So I don't know if this Uber trap is going to work, but I'm really going to hope. Now I'm not going to worry about building the traps and all that quite yet. You know what? For now I'm going to screw the Uber trap. and I'm going to build a corporate facade there instead. I just don't have the space to do it with the 1 tile quarter, as I said I had it set up as I was really hoping. On the other hand, that means I'm going to have to destroy all this again. I'm going to show you some nice little trap designs you can do to keep them out of your base, though. And I'm also going to build maybe a little bit of corporate facade in this area too. So as I said, this here will keep them blowing this way. And I'm probably going to put a little bit of a trap corridor in here. Oh, look at that. I've got low power. But you know what? I actually aimed for that specifically, because now I can build my power plants. One, two, three, four. So I've got up to 4 layers. Now, power plants are 3 by 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer of capacitors in the back here, since they don't need any maintenance and have no footprints. Now, somebody made a comment about this on my on one of my other videos, but because I had on my previous walkthrough, I had the generators in the back and the capacitors along the front. I found that as long as you keep your power high enough, like you watch your power levels carefully enough, you don't have to worry about them wearing out, because they're only going to wear out if you're trying to run them at a higher capacity than what you can. For example, if you have if you're like within 5 power or something of your max,